Split the duties, you know, both pay rent, cleaning. Daryl cleans the toilet because he does most of the damage in there. Team Thor Part 2. Now, if you don't know what these one-shots are, the premise is basically, what is Thor doing during Civil War? The first one we'll get to, and that one was more about Thor feeling sad that he wasn't invited, and finds himself moving into a normal apartment with Daryl. And we've discussed Daryl in the Grandmaster Team Daryl one-shot. However, I believe Part 2, the one we're talking about right now, is more a case of diminishing returns, as the premise of this one is less Thor is sad that he's not part of Civil War, and more, look at this fantastical being or character in a normal, mundane setting. And that's just so played out. I mean, this was my major complaint with the Grandmaster one-shot, is that premise is just not as funny as watching Thor's ego be bruised because he wasn't invited to the little superhero spat. This one, we see him, you know, paying rent with ancient coins, or giving talks to children about gruesome battles, you know, all stuff that's like, it's just not quite as funny. Like, there are some charming moments, and the premise of this is funny, and Chris Hemsworth definitely, like, carries it way more than and again, this is my major complaint with these. Daryl, yes, he's meant to be, like, white bread, he's meant to be really boring, but, like, while there are actors who do the sort of straight man really well, Keanu Reeves in Point Break, funnily enough, speaking of Point Break, if you don't get that, you know, that's Tony's nickname for Thor. Anyway. But yeah, it's just a bit dull to watch Thor just do normal human things, rather than the premise being him trying to get into Civil War. None of the jokes are bad. It's still quite funny. It's still quite charming. I just think this one is not quite as good as Part 1.